If we could scale up this tiny nitromethane engine to be the size of, say, a Mustang engine, 5 liters, then it would be outputting 3,000 horsepower. However, this little engine makes its rated 3 horsepower at 30,000 RPM. If we were to scale this up to be 5 liters of displacement, well, it would just tear itself apart. That's besides the point though. Today I want to learn how to use a nitromethane engine. I've never messed with these. I've got all the parts, I think, to make it work, including glow plugs, a glowy thing, a wood base to make myself a nice stand, and I'll get it running in this video. If not, you won't see the video. So let's go. I have nitromethane fuel. I have my engine, which includes the carburetor, and you can see the throttle is this little slidey gizmo here. There's your tuning screws and all that shit. Fuel input, exhaust, pull start, really cool. Glow plug goes in the top. Then I have my exhaust. I have a clutch flywheel mechanism for the front. My glow plug glower, a glow plug, fuel tank, battery, and various hardware to make a cute little base. Here's a picture of the specific engine that I bought. Don't buy it yet. I have to see if it's garbage first. This is actually for your home address, but I don't care. First little snag, I want my engine output shaft to be off the board so I could put propellers and whatever I want on there, but the exhaust pipe for this car RC engine basically forces the pipe to be hanging off my board that direction. I don't want that, so I'm going to cut and weld this pipe 180 degrees with my TIG welder. It's just coated aluminum and I removed the coating there with a sander. If I could weld this, then I will. If I melt this into a pile of slag, I will simply just machine an adapter out of some steel, or I also have some Ultem, which is a really high temp plastic. You can buy drops like this on eBay really cheap. Anyway, let's try. Get my sleeves on. I'm working with like 800 or 900 micron thick aluminum. I don't know what alloy this is, but I've cleaned it as best as I can. That bend, look how uneven that metal thickness is. We'll see, we'll see. I got a single bead, which means it can be welded. That's really hot. All right, this weld looks and smells like burnt paint, but I don't care because it is a weld. Now my exhaust could go out here. I'll make a support for the end of my muffler here. That's not the outlet, that's actually where you mount it to. So, let's keep going. And now, we have a muffler on a stick. I need the end of my board to be straight across so I have enough room for my support blocks. So I'm just gonna snip this off with the loudest tool that I own. And it's the middle of the night. I should really use a square. I should mark my cuts. I'm a goddamn machinist. It smells like burnt Christmas trees. Ugh. That's enough woodworking. So in order to make a mount for this, I just need a rod bent to shape. So I'm going to use a piece of stainless steel TIG wire. I'm going to make just a thing, you know? I'm just going to make it. Such a simple little solution. It's just a piece of rod with a little nut as a washer. It's mounted. Now, you don't need a lathe for this project unless you bought the cheapest fucking clutch out there and you have to drill out a spacer to make it work. I had to take the giant heatsink off so I could get to my screws here, and I thought I'd just take the cylinder head off. You can see the glow plug in there and the little sealing ring and a piston. Goes up and down. Neat. That's just a piece of vacuum hose, but now I have a vibration dampening mount. Before I put my glow plug in, I'm going to test it, make sure it glows. I don't know if you can see that. It's glowing. I gave it a couple of coats of Danish oil, let it cure overnight, and now we have an engine on a plank. It's nice and smooth, it's got some rubber feet. Here's the basic setup. You have an engine, a carburetor, with fuel coming from the fuel tank going into the carburetor inlet, but you also have this air pipe that pressurizes the fuel tank to give it some more oomph. It's kind of a weird system, but that's how these things run. Let's see if it starts. I got 20% nitromethane. Now, I've been reading the forums, and they say it's best to heat up a cold engine before you try to start it, especially the first time. This engine's been sitting in my garage, and it's like 10 degrees in here Celsius, so like, I don't know, what is that, 50 Fahrenheit? I don't care. But I'm gonna use a hairdryer here to just get it a little bit warm, and then that should help me start it. Now that our engine is nice and warm, I'm going to plug up the exhaust hole with my finger, so that forces air into the system, thus forcing fuel into the carb. Glow plug igniter. And just crank. God damn. That's fucking loud. That's so cool. Okay. That's cool. It smells so good. Well, there you go. That's an engine on a stick, and it works. That's fucking cool.